Okay, is this are we going? Recording? Okay. Let me take you back to 2003.
Sorry guys, someone left that lying around.
Compared to the overwhelming popularity of Sony's PlayStation 2 during its lifespan, the Nintendo Gamecube was severely outclassed in terms of sales, and as a result, many people today can simply only remember the very best games released for Nintendo's six-sided home console.
You may hear some Mario Sunshines, whispers of Wind Waker, murmurs of Mansion, Luigi's Mansion, but those that fell short of the high bar were left behind and forgotten.
Now, I don't pretend to know every underrated gem on the GameCube library, not even close, but there's one franchise that always stuck out to me. Whether it was on the Cube, the Boy Color, the Boy Advance, the Toy Boy, the Boy Girl, or the Big Mama. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Wario Land series.
For those unfamiliar with the games, Wario Land and its three sequels were all puzzle platformers with the flabby anti-hero as, well, the hero. The gameplay was fun and challenging without becoming frustrating, and so all four of the handheld installments received very positive reviews from critics. But the majority of these games sold less copies than Finding Nemo. Seriously, Finding f***ing Nemo. So let's take these two things into account. First, the popularity of the GameCube itself, and second, the less than deserved sales of the Wario Land series. You have to wonder, there wasn't a game unlucky enough to come under both these categories, was there? Let me take you back to 2000.
Stop. But actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go back to 2003 again.
Turns out, there was a Wario platformer released during the GameCube era. It's called Wario World. Let's see if it's as underrated as its predecessors, shall we? So once I started up the game to select my file, I noticed a save file which dated back to 2008. That seems like a really long time ago, and incidentally, that's when the last Wario Land game, The Shake Dimension, was released. I liked that game so much I did a presentation back on it in primary school, which I guess had a similar purpose to this video, really. I think one of my worst fears would be if my family saw them both and asked me why I was obsessed with a greedy fat man for over 6 years. Some things can never be explained. The story goes that Wario has built himself a huge castle for himself, where he keeps all of his treasures, also for himself. It turns out that one of his treasures, a black jewel, is actually an ancient evil creature who was sealed away a while ago. When the jewel wakes, it tears apart Wario's castle and turns the entirety of his wealth into monsters, sending Wario himself into a strange new world. From this brief prelude onwards, our famous anti-hero is pissed off. If you look in the game's instruction manual, you can see Wario's version of events, complete with his own narration. The emotional detail is simply moving.
Wario, wherefore art thou, Wario?
After the opening cutscene, Wario is literally dropped into the game's main overworld, the courtyard. You know, the first thing I noticed when I started walking around was how the developers animated every aspect of Wario's face. Eyes, nose, perpendicular facial hair, everything is moving. And then there's the music. So upbeat, so catchy, and hold on to your seats. It retains adding the sound of people attempting to rap into the music from Wario Land 4. No, really, I'm serious, keep listening. You can hear the singers they hired to add some soul to the music. The courtyard itself is divided into 4 stages, that being Excitement Central, Spooktacular World, Thrillsville, and Sparkle Land. Within each of these stages there are 2 regular areas, and 1 area where you fight the boss. So let's count that out for each stage. There's 8 levels and 13 boss fights. This is of course counting the bosses that you defeat at the end of every normal level. It's a good job that they, they made the fighting f***ing awesome. You punch through mobs, you pick up enemies and swing them around, killing everything that comes close. They literally spawn in such a way that you instantly know the move to use to eliminate anything in your path. It's like, hey guys, form a queue.
You're deaf.
So basically, the combat system? Damn good.
For every level, there are several objectives to complete, the bare minimum of which is to collect red diamonds to open the way to the area boss, which you defeat to finish the level. These red diamonds are hidden in trapdoors as rewards for beating the puzzles and challenges inside. The majority of these trapdoor challenges are interesting and pretty fun in all honesty. With the exception of this one, where you just lift Wario heads until you find the diamond. Nope. No. Nah.
This isn't fun!
But then again, there are some challenges towards the end of the game that require some good thinking time in order to get the diamond, like this block moving puzzle. I mean, you don't even have to hit anything to get the other collectible, it's just sitting there. But let me show you the solution to this room. Oh, actually that wasn't too bad. Somehow this puzzle completely eluded me when I was first played the game. It might have had something to do with my lack of patience, which still hasn't left me, as you can see. So using my experience as a veteran 10-year-old gamer, I came up with an alternate solution. Oh, and by the way, if you ever need to pause the game for any reason, please, just listen to the music.
Charles Martinet, voice of Wario and Mario. Your work, as shown here, is sublime.
Okay, so besides red diamonds, what else can you collect in the levels? Well, there's the Spritlings, 5 per level, which you can free from these black boxes that the Black Jewel trapped them inside. Each one offers helpful hints about Wario's moves or how to progress through the area, so while they are worth saving, you have to wonder why the Black Jewel took the time to color coordinate the entrapment of woodland fairies. But then I suppose you would have to question why the Black Jewel lets Wario himself rampage through the worlds it created, when all the while Wario is getting stronger and regaining his riches by completing gold statues and collecting treasure continuously, and instead it hides inside a gigantic treasure box pretending it doesn't have death rays of fire to put the fat man's quest to an untimely end immediately after the game begins.
Oh, you know, he's sleeping or something.
After beating the 2 levels each stage has to offer, you're able to fight the stage boss in order to win one of 4 boss keys. When all of these boss keys are collected, they unlock the big treasure chest in the courtyard. It seems odd to be honest. You collect keys to open a chest, but the keys join together to form... Look, I don't even know what this is, but it's not a key. The boss fights themselves are basically the same as end-of-level boss fights. Except in the normal boss fights, you can't face off against a giant female dinosaur wearing saucy underwear and give a concussion with your ass! I'm apparently being rewarded with money for this. I mean, hey, if that's what you're into, that's cool. Who am I to judge? When you reach the 3rd stage, Frillsville, things start to get a little more difficult, which, you know, the game should be after getting halfway through. But geez, they really pull out all the stops with the new enemies. I mean, Wario faces some seriously dangerous foes later on, like
Skiing Trollheads and Mr. Blobby
and
Ice and some more.
Oh no, that's just a turtle, okay. And if you can brave these chilling adversaries, you can head onwards to Beanstalk Way and face the terror of the jungle-themed enemies. Like the manta rays. And the magnets.
No, it's just like they say. You take the magnet out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of the magnet. Right.
Ah, whatever, it's nothing we can't handle, especially with these helpful hints from the Spritlings here. Ah, good, this one's about the area boss, Spider Atticus. You know, the father from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Jim, I want you to please leave.
Wait, I don't remember this in the movie.
Atticus said, you never really knew a man until you stood in his shoes and walked around it.
Well, I guess he's taking that pretty seriously these days with all those feet. So once you've collected your 4 boss keys and made your final preparations, you can head up to the big treasure chest to fight the final boss. The Black Jewel is pissed off after sleeping, and destroys Wario's world once more while creating the battlefield for the showdown. As you all remember, now is the time for Wario's ultimate goal to be fulfilled. Pummel the Black Jewel 100 times.
So let's do this.
Okay, gotta free the Spritlings, they'll be helping out, I guess. Alright, free the last one. Alright, Black Jewel's down. Alright, I'll pick it up and throw it, do some damage, yeah, okay. Alright, what's next? Alright, free the Spritlings again. Okay, hold on a second.
In this final boss, you do not punch it whatsoever. You free Spritlings, you dodge fire and energy rings, you free more Spritlings, who hit the final boss, stun him, you pick up the final boss, and you use a throw. Forgive me for being disappointed. that I could not beat the shit out of the final boss. That was a more quiet one than I was used to. Usually it's just...
Seriously, I genuinely wanted to smash this thing to pieces with my fists, not other magical fairies. For all the satisfying elements of this game, having powerful moves right from the start and pummeling absolutely everything that gets in your way, it fell just short of absolutely everything on the one part of the game where the atmosphere and game feel was crucial. And instead, you have a final boss which is tedious and dull. I don't want to chuck this floating abomination off a floating battlefield. I want to beat this thing senseless until it shatters into a ruined heap of its own broken dreams and mindless agony.
What? The Japanese version?
You know, there's something missing here that I can't quite put my finger on. What?!
The Japanese got to beat the crap out of Final Boss, which is more variety, more attacks, and altogether it's just much more entertaining than what we got. I mean, why was this omitted from other versions? It serves as a much better end to a fight that takes way too long, simply because there is only one boring method of attack which doesn't fit in with the rest of the game whatsoever. I have to go wind up a poster. You betrayed me, my friend. You betrayed the entirety of the PAL regions, the whole of the US, and the Brazilians. Oh, I see how it is. Then it's time I carried out my own brand of justice. My own brand of misguided justice. This is gonna hurt, I'm afraid. It's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me. Did you get him? Turned him Japanese.
Hey there, thanks for watching to the end. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you skipped most of the video to get here. You didn't, did you? Anyway, the point is, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it or something, or click that link to watch my last episode about turtles. Or if that doesn't strike your fancy, click the other link on the right to watch the Free Yeses, the show where I play games with two other guys and we swear a lot. Special thanks to all those who helped out with this video. You can see all of them in the description below. So you better not skip that as well.